Shelley from Hodgepodge Hoosiers. Today I'm going to be making a copycat Dairy Queen ice cream cake. I know how many of you all love their ice cream cakes. The prices are getting outrageous anymore. I think for a 10-inch round at our Dairy Queen is like $31.99, I think, before tax. Well, I started making the homemade versions, and actually last year I made one and everyone here thought it was from Dairy Queen because you can get them so close that you can't tell. Other than my decorating skills may not be as good as the decorator, but the taste was exactly the same. So I think today I'm going to show you how I do that with the ingredients that I've got here. It's probably like $12.50 to buy all the ingredients to make that $32 cake. Now, I am going to use a springform pan, and this is a 9-inch. Now, the cake at Dairy Queen is a 10-inch, but I'm just going to use this. I'm not going to go out and try and find a 10-inch pan to make it an exact comparison, but it's close enough. The savings is that great that this is how I'm going to do it. It don't take a lot of skill to make one. It takes a lot of time. So I'm going to put you down and show down here so you got a better view, and I'm going to show you how I get started. Okay, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to line this springform pan with plastic wrap. This is going to help whenever you're ready to pull it out. You just be able to lift it out with this plastic. There. I like to do one this way. Okay, and it don't matter if it's crinkled. We're going to cover it with the layer of whipped icing all around the side. You just want to do this so you can lift the whole thing out. There. Okay. So I'll set this aside. I do have the oven preheating to 350, and you do want to take your first ice cream out, which is chocolate. I'm going to put half of this in that. You want to let it set out 20 minutes before you start to try and spread it in that pan. Okay, next we're going to crush up some Oreos. And I've got 4 tablespoons of melted butter here to mix with it. So I got my little grinder here. You can put it in a gallon bag and hit it with a hammer. I've done that many a times. I got this at a yard sale, so go. Look to about that consistency. So that was 5. No, that was 7. So I need 13 more. I'm trying to do this backwards. So 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. What am I doing wrong? Well, it's being contrary. Okay. I think it goes like this. There. Okay. use this a lot, which I don't. But it is perfect for this. It's actually good for making like chicken salad too. Okay, I'm gonna put one more in. Okay, so now we're ready to not a very good tutorial if I can't figure this out. Oh well, you gotta bear with me. Good grief. Do that again. I'm sorry guys, it usually doesn't go that rough. Okay, and the husband will be glad that I've got enough Oreos, which I was going to say this later, but the ingredients that you buy, all but the heavy whipping cream, if you would buy a quart of heavy whipping cream, which is $2 more I think, so for under $15 you could make 2 ice cream cakes. So, and then that makes it even a better deal. All right. Now you're going to put in the melted butter in them cookies. I do have to look at my recipe some. I don't have this one memorized. Give it a good coating. Now we're going to go get the pan and get them spread out on it. Okay, now you just want to spread this evenly on this pan because you want this to bake a little bit so they get good and crunchy. Piece it didn't smush much. Okay, there. Now this is going to go in the oven at 350 for 7 or 8 minutes. Okay, there. And now I'm going to get that ice cream and see if it's thawed out enough because the next step is to put it in the pan. Okay, I'm back. I think it's soft enough, and I got to thinking I've got this little air fryer pan, so I'm going to make a small cake while I'm at it because I had all the stuff. So you just want to put it in the bottom, get a good layer, even layer. The recipe calls for half of this for a bottom layer. I do have the cookie crumbles in the oven now. They have got to completely cool so they get good and hard and crunchy. There. That'll be it for that. So now I'll add half of that in this one. There. So you just want to smush it down. Still a little hard yet. I could have let it set out a few more minutes before doing this, but it softens fast, especially as humid as it is today. We're due for storms this afternoon again. I'll work on this one, let that thaw a little bit. Thought of something. Give me just a minute here. Okay, I'm back. I had an idea. I was going to take plastic wrap, which I tried it on this little one, and it didn't do too bad, and just lay it over the top of it and smush it with your hands that way where you're just touching the wrap. But I had trouble pulling it off because it was wanting to stick so bad, so we're just going to stick with doing it the way I did it before. but it's starting to melt good. Now when I get this smooth, it goes back in the freezer for up to 30 minutes to an hour, and I can tell you the longer it's in there, the better you're going to be able to work with it. So that looks pretty good. So I think I'm going to go put these in the freezer and let them be getting hard, and then we'll go on to the next step. Okay, we're ready for the next step. These have probably been in the freezer a good solid hour, little bit over. My crumbles is good and cooled. I've been stirring them. They're good and crispy. And you want to have your hot fudge already heated up, like 20 to 25 seconds, so it's going to be easy to pour. I had a little bit left over in the fridge, and since I'm making a small one, this is the only thing. I told you you had enough ingredients to make 2 cakes. This is the only thing that you would have to buy double of if you want to make 2 cakes. So it says to pour this over your chocolate ice cream. See how good that does. Okay, I'll go ahead and put the rest of this in this little one. Looks like a good layer. There's only like a couple tablespoons left in this jar. Go ahead and add it. There. Just want to get it around on top of the chocolate ice cream as even as you can. Okay, now we're going to take the crumbles and you're going to put that over the top of the hot fudge. So that one's ready. Now when you get this all put back together, it goes back in the freezer for another hour. Like I said, that's the only thing. It's time consuming making this, but it's not hard. You just got to remember, you know, to get each step done. And I'm home most days, so it isn't nothing for me to get it out and do that. Actually, it looks like plenty, but I still got some left, so maybe I'll put another spoon on this other one. Make it a little thicker. Okay. All right, now this goes back in the freezer for another hour, which will be instant for you. So I'll see you soon. Okay. Been a good solid hour, a few minutes over. So I've got my vanilla ice cream. Just put some in on top of the last mixture that we put in. That should be enough for that. Now this can fill all the way up to the top of the pan because this is the last thing we got to add. And then after we get this part done, it says 4 to 6 hours in the freezer, which I am probably going to let it go overnight. I want it to be good and solid, and I've got time. I've got 2 days before it gets served for my son's birthday. So I think I'm just gonna let it go all night, and then I'll get it out in the morning and make the whipped frosting that goes on it. And I'll save a little out and color some so I can do a trim. Maybe write happy birthday on it. My writing skills is not that good, but I think I can handle putting happy birthday on it. Still a little firm yet. I've had this setting out for 20 minutes, this ice cream, before I got these pans out of the freezer. You want it to get soft. Put a little more in that, I think. Ice cream cake, I really like the vanilla part. Most people likes the chocolate part, but I like the vanilla ice cream. So this one here will just be an extra. It'll get eat. The one I'm making for the birthday, probably most of it's going to get eat that day with the family. So this will be a nice little one just to keep in the freezer for my husband and I. It's going to be so thick that we probably could get 6 good slices out of it. Okay, I got just a little bit of vanilla left. Now I'm using more ice cream than the recipe calls for. I wanted to make it a taller, thicker cake because it said just to use a quart of vanilla for a 9-inch spring-form pan. And I'm going to go ahead and use a little bit more since I did put some in that small one, but it still went over what they said to put in the recipe I'm using. And I just found the recipe on Pinterest. I was just looking for the best one, kind of put my own twist on stuff, how I would comfortable doing it, but I pretty well went according to this recipe. The lady that put this on here was really good on Pinterest with how she did it. So there. I think that's going to be about it. That's it for the vanilla. Now I'm going to cover it with plastic wrap like I said, and we're going to put it in the freezer, and it'll probably sit overnight. So tomorrow I'll bring you back and we'll get the frosting made and get it decorated, and then it can sit in the freezer until birthday day. Okay, it's the next day, and I've just had this stainless steel, my KitchenAid mixer bowl, in the freezer. It said use a metal one. It's supposed to keep it in there for 30 minutes, so this is ice cold. And it says for 2 cups of heavy whipping cream, you pour in there. Now, since I have that little cake too, I'm going to go ahead and add 3 cups because I'm going to icing it too. But the recipe for a regular, for just one cake, would be 2 cups. Okay, so I got my 3 cups of whipping cream in there. And then it's 1/4 cup of powdered sugar. I went ahead and I made it an even 2, like I said, for the extra cake. And a splash of vanilla. There. Now I opted to do this with my hand mixer. Let me see if I can lift you up a little bit. Hand mixer over the stand mixer, just so I can have better control. I don't want this whipping cream turning to butter. You put it on low just till you get it mixed. Then we're going to get it to high till stiff peaks form. So there we go. very long. I am going to scrape the sides a couple of times to get all that powdered sugar incorporated. With this bowl being so cold, this should whip up pretty fast. Since this is so noisy, I'm going to go ahead and not make you watch this, and when it gets to stuffed peaks, I'll bring you back. Okay, we're almost there. It's been like 90 seconds. We're already almost to stuffed peaks. I want to get it good and stiff because it's going to have to, I don't want it sliding off the cake. Could do it with that, but it's just a little bit stiffer. Okay, there we go. Get this out of the way. All right, now, so basically that is your icing. Now I'm going to reserve some if you're going to do any piping or decorating, which to make it look like a Dairy Queen cake, yeah, we should. I'm going to write happy birthday on the top of it and put just a little bit of flowers. So put some off to the side. Actually, I think I'll set that in the fridge because that'll be last. Okay, I'm gonna go get the first cake and then we'll get going on icing them. Okay, since I don't have an official cake plate, I always take my big Tupperware bowl and I use the lid for what the cake's gonna sit on, and then just put the bowl over the top of it. I'm gonna undo my spring form. See how easy it is just to pull it out then. And then you just slowly pull this off the sides of it. I did just wash my hands, so I'm going to flip it over and pull this off. It does get messy. All right, there. Okay. All right. Now, I'm gonna wipe this off the thing so you don't have to see it. I'll be right back. Okay, mess is cleaned up. See, it kind of looks rough because of the plastic. But once you get the whipped icing on it, you won't tell anything. Do have to work fast, especially if it's humid, hot outside, which it is here today. Right now I'm just trying to get the sides covered, then I'll start loading up more icing on the top. Now that icing that I reserved, I'm going to color it green. I did blue last year, I believe, so this year I'll do green. See, it really hides all the wrinkles and stuff that the plastic wrap caused. Since this is just for the family and stuff, I don't worry about if some of the cookie might be showing. But I'll be able to hide a lot too whenever I'm piping. Put some border on it. So anyway, there's a gap right there. Yeah. It's not going to be perfect. Alright, anyway, I'm going to get this put back in the freezer so it can firm up before I decorate it. Okay, while they're firming back up, I'm going to color this rest of this icing. I'm going to cut a corner out of this quart size freezer bag I have, and I just got various tips. This in here is just a plastic one. I'm going to push it in there as hard as I can because I don't want it popping out. There. And I don't have to put very much in this one after I get it colored. This is just for writing happy birthday on it. And then this next one, I'll put a different tip. I'm going to put this tip. This is a Wilton 2D. I'm going to push it in that hole. And that'll get filled next, and then will be my piping bags. Now I'm going to put some coloring in here, and if I remember right, you don't have to hardly put any in it. Nice to open it. So I'm going to try with just doing, see what that does. This is Wilton coloring. I bought this color because next week I'm doing some cupcakes for somebody graduating high school, and I wanted to do green. That should make it a nice green. I think that's plenty dark for what I need. So yeah, just put a tiny bit at a time because I buy this Wilton stuff. It's really concentrated. It's Kelly Green. And I also got some Wilton chocolate sprinkles. You can put any kind of sprinkle. You can decorate these however you want. This is just what I'm going to do. Okay, like I said, I don't need much in here to write happy birthday. It's probably enough. I'm gonna set that in the fridge until I need it. And I'm gonna put the rest in this other bag. Good thing about an ice cream cake, it don't have to have a lot of decorating because people's after what's inside. But it does give it a little bit of prettiness. Okay. Made a mess there. See if I taste it. It is good. Okay, so I'll get this in the fridge, and as soon as that cake is chilled, we'll get it decorated. Okay, I've got the big cake out. I'm just gonna write, like I said, I am not very good at handwriting, but this is for my son. Write a simple happy birthday. Already messed up. Made the J look kind of funky. That's alright. Alright, now I'm going to get the other icing. You just want to make sure this is open just a little bit. And what I do is I concentrate it down and then I start twisting it so it won't come out the top when you're decorating. Just going to put some star rosette thingies around the top. There. And I'll probably go around the base because I was pretty sloppy with the base. Like I said, I knew that it was just for the family. And they're not too particular with me getting perfect on the icing. Actually, my husband don't care for the icing at Dairy Queen, but he likes this icing because it's not real sweet. Then I'll sprinkle some, just lightly sprinkle, get a little bit of chocolate sprinkles on there. Don't have to be much. Maybe I'll do this, it'll come out faster. And there you have it. You've got an ice cream cake that only cost a fraction of what it costs from Dairy Queen. I'm going to put this back in the freezer and I'm going to get that little one decorated and I'll show you what they both look like when they're finished. As you can see, the smaller the cake that you make, the more you can make it neater, I guess you say. I can do better on a small cake than I can the big one. Yeah, it's lopsided, I know. But sure looks cute. This is going to get put in the freezer for me and my husband to snack on throughout next week, because that big ice cream cake will get devoured tomorrow. So I hope you like this kind of content. If you do, please like, comment, subscribe, and share. And until next time, bye for now.